for Jalen Johnson, what he really wants, I don't think he cares how many guys are down in the paint. He just wants a runway to the paint. He just wants, let me get ahead of steam going towards the paint, and let me just cause a whole bunch of collapsing and a whole bunch of mess and wreckage down there. And either I'm going to score with, his float shots off the glass. He uses the backboard almost as well as anybody at his size in the league, or he's just going to get all the way to the rim for difficult shots, and he's a great finisher as well. But what he really wants to do, what Jalen Johnson really wants to do, is collapse the paint and kick out. And that's why he has an insane 33% assist percentage, which is completely ridiculous, like Giannis level for a wing. And I agree with you. I think that when they screen with Daniels, or even screen with the CJ McCollum or somebody like that, I love when they do those inverted screens, because again, it gets Jalen Johnson downhill. It gets him going. Something I think, by the way, that Paolo Banchero should be emulating, or Orlando Magic should be emulating with Paolo Banchero, because I think that's like kind of the model for him. And when you look at it, Jalen Johnson is actually extremely low volume as a roller for someone at his size. Actually 3.1% frequency as a finisher, as a roll man. Very, very low. But as running the pick and roll, he's at 23.4% frequency at running pick and rolls. He's not exceptionally efficient. That's his next step, I think. That's why some of his offensive impact is not as high as it could be. He's not super efficient out of that. But he collapses defense. He's just such a threat that you can't just let him just ramble his way all the way to the rim. He collapses defense, creates kickouts. He's just too big, agile, skilled, all of that. And then all the ways that he spreads it around to shooters now they have everywhere in Atlanta, which has been another big issue or big boon for them that they've acquired in CJ McCollum, who's another guy I want to talk about. So to me, I just think they do have a great chemistry. They work really well together, and Jalen Johnson is able to work under these conditions, like a few guys that you and I talk about, who are able to do their damage regardless almost of the spacing environment. And Jalen Johnson is one of those guys.
Have we reached the point where you are a believer in Okongwu's catch and shoot shooting? Has he done enough, or are we still skeptical?
I guess I got to believe in it, because I've been holding out on that. It's just like, I just want to, before I throw it right back to you, because like, I just want to kind of, I don't know, contextualize for Hawks fans who probably know this, or to some extent, for Okongwu to go from literally a non-shooter to a low volume, low efficiency shooter to an above average volume, high efficiency shooter within 3 years. I don't know if people know how crazy that is and how like unrealistic that is to see that happen in such a short period of time for a guy like that. It's just so unlikely. And at this point, you kind of have to believe in it, because he's still jacking up three. Like, he'll have games where he's shooting 12 threes and he's still shooting 38, 39%. It's just, it's real, and it's just shocking to me because it's so unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, this is low key such an ideal environment for Jalen Johnson to grow in, because what's another thing that Atlanta's done super well over this stretch? They're doing the new money ball that the smartest teams are all doing. Boston, they're emphasizing possessions. They're above average in turnovers. They're good at offense. All the offensive rebound rates are up. And when you think about it, it's like, oh, well, their center is on the perimeter. Yeah, well, guess what? They have Jalen Johnson forcing collapses. They have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, CJ McCollum, Okongwu, all drawing attention. And then the kicker, opponents have their center on Dyson Daniels. And so it's like, when you have Dyson Daniels getting a head start, you have Jalen Johnson forcing all these collapses, and then you have an array of shooters on the perimeter. This is going to lead to high efficiency looks, and then of an offensive rebounding environment where you have the advantage in a lot of situations. This overcomes the lack of natural initiation that you see some Hawks fans complaining about, that they don't have a true point guard, or that like McCollum's come in. And I'm not saying these aren't authentic complaints to have about the team, but I do think in a weird way, Quinn Snyder is leaning into this roster and giving them the best chance to succeed, both short and long term, because short, there are certain things they just don't have. So they can either begrudge the fact that they don't have them or try to work around that. And I think they're doing a great job of working around it. Long term, how can we make Jalen Johnson the best player he can be? Can Dyson Daniels, with his one glaring weakness, be a part of a meaningful contender? These are questions they're trying to answer. And again, I think they're doing a great job of addressing them and getting answers for themselves as fast as possible.